It's MrConectr. Welcome to the Great Awakening. Welcome to the financial revolution. Let's get going for the market intel report today, August 4th, 2026. Geopolitical and macroeconomics section here. We've got a unknown projectile strikes a ship near the Strait of Hormuz off of Oman. President Trump frames a last chance deal, but Iran still denies direct U.S. negotiations and pointed to an Oman channel routing talks, while Qatar said it is mediating this. Okay. Explanation on the oil. We've got oil can be repriced on corridor incidents faster than the speech cycles. So everything's depending on this, on war, of course. We've got oil at 81.5 per barrel. We've got the U.S. 10-year yields hovering at 4.67%. Also, joint U.S.-Japan yield, the yen support remains in focus. They may keep pumping money into the yen to prop up the carry trade, with estimates of Japanese yen buying as large as 36 billion in the first coordinated action. That's just the first one. They're expecting us to buy more. This means softer crude is a real macro risk for risk assets in the Hormuz, if Hormuz stays passable. FX defense and still high yield keep the path for crypto beta uneven. Crypto's taking a hit, guys. It sure is. You know, there's a lot of narratives trying to suppress crypto and how valuable it could be for the future. So there's a lot of distractions. You know, you got everything. Even a lot of crypto people have abandoned it and getting into predictions and other things. Let's get to the general crypto market. We've got a total market cap of $2.17 trillion. And everything looks kind of flat today. Bitcoin at 63.9, ETH at 1,873, XRP at 108, Sol at 73. We've got Bitcoin ETFs. This is actually XRP ETF. I wanted to show you guys this little small inflow today. This is the entire 2-year chart. Small inflows, only 100, or actually 1 million. Only 1 million inflow today. It's better than no severe outflows, but Bitcoin's way up and way more volatile than this. So this is XRP ETF. Not much going on, but at least there's inflows, a lot of more inflows versus the outflows. We've got what else without here on a market intel report that I'm referencing from the we had the cold card entropy exploit. It's still active. We were starting to cover this, Friday, and I think it was 50 or 60 million dollars, and now we're looking at $130 million breach from this cold card. Wow, it is something else out there. Be careful out there. Everybody's vulnerable with especially weak seed phrases was the problem with this. This could have been a hack directly. It probably was directly attacking the business and noticing the vulnerabilities in these businesses and then going after them. So this is the thinning of the herd. It's going to be very painful to thin them out for a lot of people. But that's why we try to invest in the best products, you know, the best decentralized rails. Okay, we've got Galaxy. Let's get to our thing here. Galaxy Research tallied about 1,596 Bitcoin stolen from 7,300 researches from this cold card hack. Possible fourth wave could hit totals towards 2,000 Bitcoin, $130 million. 90% of stolen coins in waves 1, 2, 3 had not moved at last research cut. So hopefully they're working with exchanges to try to mitigate some of this. 2013 dormant wallet also moved $31 million amid broader rotation wave. Security researchers flag AI-assisted bug discovery as accelerated both attack and audit cycles. The explanation is the hardware seed path failure. Not a base layer consensus break, but it is still live operational risk and keeps custody sentiment soft even when the tape holds. That was, what did I have for the I was looking at the sectors. There's a Conectr coins energy web token up today. I was looking at the sectors, and it just so happens wallet sector is up the most, 29% today after this cold card hack. So which wallets have actual coins? Top wallet tokens by market cap. And this is interesting. You guys know I love Metallicas. Look at their number 5 XPR network on this list. Tailcoin. Let's go. Yeah, by market cap. The top ones are Tailcoin Trust Wallet, 1inch SafePal, and XPR network by market cap. But let's go the past 7 days during this cold card. DeFi app and Divi. Oh wow, I forgot about Divi. So that sector's definitely up because of the cold card problem. All right, traditional finance and crypto convergence. Status, tokenized cash wave plus custody stack deepen. Impact, very high. BlackRock extends tokenized money market across the US and Europe. Details: in Europe, BlackRock rolled 12 tokenized share classes of 6 institutional class series funds spanning 15 markets. Wow, BlackRock just went in, tokenized 15 markets and about $311 billion combined AUM, assets under management, sterling, euro, and dollar classes, tokenized with JP Morgan's Conexus. In the US, it added on-chain shares of an existing selected treasury liquidity fund, BSTBL, plus a new daily reinvestment stablecoin reserve vehicle, BRSRV, aimed at stablecoin reserves and digitally native cash use. Securitized transfer agents, of course, Bank of New York, Mellon, and Securitize across products. The BUIDL context remains multi-billion-dollar assets under management. Broader tokenized RWA market cited above $30 billion. Explanation: this is a balance sheet, cash and settle stablecoin reserve plumbing at scale. Wow, they're building the plumbing right here. Not a real-time product. High signal, TradFi crypto item of the cut. Wow, BlackRock is making moves, especially in Europe. Let's go through this again right quick so we get what happened here. BlackRock rolled 12 tokenized share classes on 6 different institutional cash series funds spanning 15 markets in Europe. Interesting. They're making moves, guys, setting up the system. Of course, they're going to tokenize everything. That is wild. Let's look at our, speaking of tokenization, let's look at our RWA.XYZ global market overview. 37 billion distributed asset value, which is RWA tokens using blockchain as a distribution layer, enabling on-chain investors to subscribe, hold, and manage assets directly through their own wallets or custodians. 38 billion almost. Stablecoins is at almost 300 billion now. $295 billion in stablecoins. And it looks like I need to sign into RWA. We could go to our gold. Let's look at gold while we're talking about real world assets. $4,086. This is your month chart on gold. And this is your year to date. Not looking too great, but we know what real value is. This is your month on silver, $59, and year to date, right there. Back to the market intel report. And we've actually got regulatory developments. Clarity path still thin. Crowd odds stay skeptical. They're trying to push it in this week, guys. There's a lot of momentum on one side, on both sides. You know, it's nonpartisan. So we'll see if they get this figured out. There's some pushes trying to get this done, and maybe they'll stay late and get it done. But you know, SAVE Act and the Clarity Act, we got to get this going. You know, I've seen lots of talk about what happens if they don't pass it. You know, there is a route for us there as well. So just stay positive out there, guys. You cannot stop an idea whose time has come. All right, we've got Clarity Path. The poly market odds are still about 27%, and there's $3.8 million betting on that. Side sell notes argued another leg lower for crypto if market structure fails this year, while still expecting agencies to accelerate rulemaking if the statute slips. Senate calendar to August recess remains the binding constraint. Policy beta is known overhang. Crowd pricing is closer to process failure than lobbying headlines. Local rule books and bank enforcements keep moving. We've got South African lawmakers floated drift rules requiring cross-border crypto via authorized providers with central bank reporting. UBS drew a $125 million U.S. fine for money laundering control failures. The EU AI Act, transparency and labeling obligations for chatbots and deepfakes moved into effect. See the AI section coming up next. Even without U.S. market structure win this week, venue geography and AML standards keep shifting the operational map. I'll get it together, guys. Get my thoughts right. Just kind of getting the entire show set up. So I've got a lot of buttons going on here. I've got backdrops for this and that. Let's keep it going. RWA and tokenization. Let's get to the Flare news. Flare's wrap XRP was approved as collateral. And Centaur managed $208 million ROUSD lending vault on Morpho Blue. Here's the flow today. Mint FXRP to the bridge, to the deposit, and then you borrow. Flare is building XRPL wallet, smart account shortcuts. Supply cap start, conservative versus long run XRP and DeFi ambitions. Yeah, there's be careful out there with Flare. I love the idea of Flare. I love what they're doing. There are, be careful giving up your control to another third-party entity to go out and use your XRP or whatever asset to make money with, because that's it's a yin and yang. That's how you make money. You got to put it to work. And if you want to trust another company to do that for you, well, you're trusting them with your XRP, and they could get you a good return, or they could get a margin call on your XRP. There's a lot to factor in there. But I love the idea of what Flare's doing with their smart accounts. We've got tokenized cash and payments infrastructure compound. Details: BlackRock's BR, SRV, European MMF share classes, plus MasterCard, completion, and prior Genius aligned reserve fund peers. Morgan Stanley, State Street, Fidelity, they tightened their where stablecoin reserves live stack. Okay, they're figuring out their stablecoin reserves. Lots of moving with these stablecoins. The banks are reacting. Circle shares remained under pressure after Morgan Stanley downgrade, citing tokenized MMF competition and slower USDC growth assumptions. Explanation is the tokenized T-bill cash share classes are both a Rails win and a margin threat to pure stablecoin float narratives. Watch competitive share and not only the headlines. All right. Cool. Let's get to our AI and blockchain section. The EU AI transparency labels go live. White House model testing push. Additional EU AI Act transparency obligations aimed at labeling chatbots and deepfakes came into effect. The White House was set to host AI companies on a new model testing cybersecurity evaluation framework tied to a June executive order. We've got Hugging Faces. If you guys don't know what Hugging Face is, I download my Llama CPP models, my local models, through Hugging Face. So that's where all the open source models are, and the quantizations for the models. Someone can upload a model, and then someone else adjust it and forks it to its own new quant model, to compress it to make it fit in your system. So you got to find the right model for the right system. But anyway, Hugging Face CEO argues that Chinese open models are closing fast on the U.S. frontier race, and they are. They're right behind it. Imagine, think about when iPhone came out, and who was right behind iPhone? Android. And a lot of people think that, they're par now, or even better sometimes. No different here, especially this is just software. This isn't even hardware. This is open source software competing with paid frontier models. It's wild, guys, to watch and follow this stuff. The explanation is compliance and evaluation regimes are becoming product constraints for anyone shipping agents into regulated markets, including the crypto native AI tooling. So yeah, I think this open source stuff is a thorn in the side of these huge AI investments that have taken place. AI-assisted attack surfaces show up in crypto ops. Details: non-custodial Lightning swap service Boltz, that's BOLTZ, paused after a wave of AI-assisted hacking attempts outpaced the small team's patch cycle. Coverage of the cold card waves repeatedly cited AI accelerating both exploit discovery and defensive audit. Wow. So AI assisted hacking attempts and AI assisted, I'll bet you AI vibe coded on to start up the from the business, side to generate the seed codes. If you don't know what vibe coding is, that's just someone that's creating code by typing in normal sentences into a prompt engine to an AI. So I'll guarantee you this is both sides AI attack, right? The initial creation of the seed, the wallets, all that code was probably vibe coded. I'm not going to say it was, but I can assume it was. And then now on the hack side, AI, another, who knows? It might have been any of them. Who knows? But AI on both sides. AI used to create it and AI used to hack it. So you can see the importance of AI rails here, guys, especially with the new EU AI Transparency Act. And why isn't AI in the crypto bill, or is it? I know we've got an executive order on quantum and all of that. All right, cool. Let's keep going. For the market intel report, let's look at prediction markets. Oh, it just says that, the Clarity Act odds are 27%. Crowds are pricing statute failure risk and warpath uncertainty more than clean and cable news optimism. Useful as a process thermometer, not a trading signal alone. All right. And let's get to our risk and opportunity analysis. Of course, we've got the Hormuz physical risk, the cold card risk, clarity, incomplete, August 4th ETF rose. So yeah, kind of a big ETF day today to see which way it goes, actually. Stablecoin issuer margin pressure with the tokenized MMF reserve products compete with pure USDC float economies. Opportunities. Of course, the BlackRock tokenized cash at 311 billion European MMF scale, plus the US BlackRock, the BRSRV and the BSTBL are the clearest institutional rail sign of the cut. It's kind of hard to understand what they're doing there, but just know that they're tokenizing everything, guys. One market at a time, or in this case, I think it was 13 markets in Europe. But that's BlackRock operating in Europe, plus the US. Those two US tickers as well. BlackRock ETF season flipped to 170 million on Monday after the Friday's large outflow. Flow regime not one-way red. All right. The XRP USD, RLUSD collateral path via FXRP and Morpho, a major cap asset entering isolated institutional DeFi borrowing design with Flare. Bank of New York Mellon and Galaxy staking and MasterCard and BVNK close. Custody and payments slack, deepening under the noise. Range holding near 64,000 for Bitcoin despite security and geo headlines. Internal sellers are not fully in control of the tape. Just messing around with my backdrops here. I need that one. Oh yeah, I did this wild one too. Pretty trippy there. We could finish up on this. with the risk warnings. Risk structural geopolitical energy checkpoint. The Hormuz gap. Yields, risk assets. Hardware wallet failures. U.S. market structure legislation. ETF flows. Tokenized cash products can compress pure stablecoin issuers. The report is intelligence, not a trade ticket. Leverage and force liquidations remain the fastest way to turn a range into a wipeout. That's right. All right, guys, this has been your financial market intelligence report. For August the 4th, 2026, this is not financial advice. Hope you guys have a great day. MrConectr out. Peace.